Hi, Dad.
Oh, is that us?
It's us.
Oh, hi.
It's, you know what, the visitors, the listeners don't know this, but it's been a while since we recorded together.
Well, since we don't record time or day or holiday or season, it's like
Yeah.
we just, as we were saying in the last podcast.
Right. As we were saying, it's been like, I'm trying to remember how long it's been. It's been
And
kind of
actually,
bad.
since Ruth is not here, Mom's not here.
Yeah.
This is really the Ruthless podcast.
Mom's never here.
So we're always ruthless.
Oh.
So we're the original Ruthless.
Okay.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, you heard it here first. So I just got back from the UK, hence her ladyship cut.
Who is her ladyship now? Is it Camilla?
No, me. No, I don't know. Yeah, it is. But we were there for about 12 days, and
I bet the weather was splendid.
it actually was not. It was so hot, and they don't have AC. Or a lot of people don't have AC. They're starting to get it. Actually, that is the business to be in right now in London, is the AC business.
I'm retired.
It's insane. You're probably making like a ton of money.
Well, in France, they outlawed them.
Outlawed air conditioning
Yeah,
units?
because not enough AC, not enough electricity.
Really?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Don't you read stuff?
I do, but I didn't see that.
Just like the song.
Interesting.
Hot, hot, hot.
But I'll tell you what, it's like, so we're there, and the worst part, like, the heat is fine. Like, I can deal with the heat. You drink water, you have a fan.
It's the...
Nighttime. Oh, wait, what? What were you
No,
thinking
that's
to say?
okay. Everyone's like, it's not the heat, it's the humidity.
No, it's like when you're going to sleep and you just can't cool off. Like, your body temperature, I think, rises when you're sleeping anyway.
Well, the worst part is you cannot find the cool side of your pillow.
Right, you can't.
I knew
And
that.
It's so hot. It's like so hot that I just I could not sleep, and so I didn't sleep. And I truly think that sleep deprivation is the worst form of torture.
It is one of the many forms, yes.
I think it is.
You've recovered, so you're only back like 24 hours. You've recovered so well.
No, I think is it 20?
Are the scars still there?
Yeah. Well, I just had a massage, and so I'm a little out of it right now. So the coffee is helping me kind of come back to myself. How are you feeling?
I feel great.
Yeah. What's your number today?
I'm probably a 9.5.
Really? You're kind of always solid up there.
I'm kind of watching my diet. I'm doing my push-ups on a regular basis.
How many push-ups do you do a day?
Well, it's not a question of how many you can do. It's the frequency with which you do them. This way you never hurt yourself, and you kind of build all kinds of capillary muscle. So I'll do anywhere from 10 per hour, or 15 per hour, or 20. You mix it up.
Like every hour on the hour?
Yeah, probably an hour and a half at a time. The best part is you don't need a gym. Wherever you are, just hit the ground. Gravity does all the work for you. But it works all parts of the body. And if you can't do a regular push, you do a sissy push. Do it on your knees, do the girl push.
Don't say that. Don't call it that.
It's a sissy push-up.
No, you went and almost said girl push-up.
It's a girly push-up.
No, it's not.
Want to hear the new therapy?
No, I don't. But don't say that. I can do the regular push-ups. But I think
Even if you do the sitter ones with the knees, the benefits are substantial as far as your upper body. Most people need your glutes, your core. I tried the dead bug exercise. It's tough.
What's that?
You ever heard that one?
No.
That's what works on the core. Except you sit back, put your hand, you do 1 foot down, and when I'm up, it's dead bug. It's very popular.
You have to show me when we get off this call. I remember knowing this girl who was like the most ripped arms, and I was like, "What do you do?" And she's like, "I just do push-ups." Like that. She's like, "That's the only thing she does is push-ups." She has the most ripped arms.
That's all you need. It works on the tricep is one of the larger muscles in your body, but just you try. The benefit is it burns off stress. There's no shortage of stress, but just do every hour, every 2 hours. You're in your office, just hit the ground. People are going to laugh at you. They're the ones you should laugh at them.
I like it.
Try it for a week and see how you feel.
Okay, I will.
But don't overdo it.
I won't. So I need to learn how to do those push-ups. I need to learn how to do the dead bug, but we need to let our guest in.
Low goal setting. Each other push-ups once.
I know. Okay,
I'll give you the technique.
Should we let her goal in? Or let her goal in? Oh my god.
Yes.
The massage just messed me. Okay, let's let our guest in. So you don't know our guest. It is my friend. Her name is
a lot of people I don't
Simone. Her name is Simone. You've met her probably, I think, before. Hi, Simone. You're on mute.
Hello, Simone.
She's on mute. But so I think you guys.
Hi. Sorry about that. I was in the bathroom.
Oh, it's okay. Well, that's so fitting with us. We're getting ready to talk about.
I figured.
Have you met my dad before?
We might have. Oh, maybe at her.
Book signing?
Yes.
Yeah,
maybe there.
Still got it, baby. Still got it.
Her kids also were at the same school as my daughter. And we don't mention names or schools on the podcast.
Mhm.
And so yeah, so anyway, so
Enough about her. Let's talk about me.
okay, anyway,
Oh, sorry.
I'm so glad. So I, in full transparency, I am very relaxed right now because I just had a massage. I did something nice for myself where I had the
Good for
therapist at
you.
8:30 this morning. I just, as you know, things have been a little crazy with travel and everything like that. So I was like, I just needed it. So I'm getting in my groove in. I'm having my first cup of coffee. And my dad and I were just
Apparently,
talking about
enough
push-ups.
about me. It's all about you.
We were just talking about push-ups and the power of push-ups. Do you do push-ups?
Planks,
Okay, thanks. Well,
knee
and
push-ups,
That's
push-ups
kind of
from
hard.
knees.
yeah. Well, then my dad made the big mistake of calling those the sissy push-ups or the girl push-ups, and I was like, "Don't you ever say that again!" And I went, "Pow!"
Yeah, they're powerful.
They are,
Have you
yes. No
tried
matter what.
them?
Well, and just like moving your body is powerful.
Motion is lotion.
Life.
No, motion is lotion.
What?
We should rehearse.
Yeah, that's
We
bad.
really should rehearse this.
Anyways,
It's
we're
never-
recording. Hi, welcome. Listener, I'd like you to meet Simone Leo. Now that we just like chit-chatted. So Simone, we start off all of our podcasts the same way by asking you the same question. And that question is, what is your number today on a scale of 1 to 10?
Where fractions do count.
Yeah. 1 being a day you probably should not have gotten out of bed. To a 10 being a day, it's the best day you have ever had. You don't have a worry in the world. And I know that you are a mom and a wife and you work and you've got health things you do. So if you're a
So
10, I'd
Jamie's
like
saying
you
it's
to give me-
impossible. Can't be a
No,
10.
it could be 10. All right, what's your number?
Let's see. Well, I'm excited to be here and share my
I'm
story.
gonna guess. Hold on.
Okay, go ahead.
Remember, fractions count.
Did you just say 7.5?
He can whisper quietly.
She's a hand reader.
He cannot. He said 7 3/4, but he like literally we're walking down the street in New York one time, and we're walking,
not
and there was
that
like
story.
a drug deal going on. He's like, "Look, drug deal!" Like out loud. Like he cannot even. Yes. So anyway, is that your number, or did you actually?
No. I would say I'm at a 9.
Oh,
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
that's really
feeling
good.
good. I feel a good energy. I had a good meeting right before this one, and yeah,
nice.
going into the weekend, so feeling good.
Nice. All right, I like it. What does it normally take to get your number up to a 9?
Having some quiet time to myself in the morning, even if it's just a few moments.
Yeah.
Mhm.
How do you navigate that with two? So you've got 2 young kids. How do you navigate that quiet time? Where do
That's
you
where there are
find
locks on doors.
Uh, well, besides that, I get up earlier before them, so I look to get up earlier.
What
Yeah.
time do you normally wake up?
Well, nowadays it's like 6.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So I know a little bit what you're going to talk about today, but only because we kind of touched base this week. But I'm just curious, like that time in the morning and finding that time for yourself. Like when did that routine start for you?
Okay, so I get up, I go to the bathroom, and then I go into my the closet. That's like my meditation. Revealing all my secrets. Yeah.
And you go,
And,
and you
and
actually
it's like my
meditate.
quiet time, and I like place my hands over my heart and just sit with myself and breathe. And sometimes I'll put on a little like from Spotify, Amy Tenney. She's really good with meditation and yoga, and just it could be 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes, like in all different types of mantras.
Older
So it's
one
nice,
gets,
very grounding and centering.
the older one gets, the more one appreciates those 2 fabulous things in the universe called peace and quiet.
When did that, but that's like a really unique routine to have. Like what prompted you to have that routine and when did that start for you?
Maybe a few years ago. Like I've always had that, not this specific routine, but I've always tried to incorporate some type of yoga or meditation into my daily practice, whether it was the morning or the evening or even throughout the day. I think it's really important to recognize to take breaks because we're always on the go and things are moving so fast. So for any time to just slow down, even just taking like an inhale, pausing at the top, and then letting it all out. And if you do that a few times throughout the day, you don't have to always sit for minutes at a time. It could just be as simple as that.
You just passed the test for the SWAT team.
Well, she's married to an ex-cop,
Ah, box
so.
breathing.
So, okay, so I know where we're going to get to, but talk to us a little bit about like you had a big move the past few years. You moved to Florida. You are from New York area, right? Long Island.
Hmm. Yes, Long Island.
Okay. Tell us, so you grew up there. You're born, raised there, right?
Yes.
And then at the age of 19, something changed in your life. But tell us
Mhm.
a little bit about what led up to that. Like, how did you figure out what was going on in your body that you needed to talk to somebody about it?
Okay. So it was the fall of 2018, and it was not 2018, I'm sorry. It was, I was, no, I was 19 years old. Yeah, sorry. The fall of 2001. That's when I started feeling my stomach was hurting me, and I was going to the bathroom a lot more frequently, and there was bleeding. Um, I was really tired and fatigued. And then
How long
we
had that been going on for?
That was, so let's see. Or maybe I feel like it might have been like November, December. I remember I was going to at that time, my boyfriend, so my husband, his parents, we would always go every Sunday to have an Italian feast, like dinner with the gravy, the red sauce. And I was just noticing every Sunday, like I could not handle the red sauce. And they're like the Jewish mom also, like, here, have more, have more, have more. And it was like I had lots of cramping in my stomach. And then I felt so bad. I went on Sundays, but I wasn't able to eat her red sauce.
And you were able to
Uh,
connect it back to like the red sauce was what was causing it?
well,
Okay.
I just was in a lot of pain afterwards, like from that gravy.
Yeah.
It was like,
Yeah.
simmering on the stove for like 7 hours
Maybe
for
she was
sure.
testing your ability to marry her son.
You got it.
Okay, so you're starting to have the
Yeah,
craving
but then
cramps.
it started getting worse. Like, so in the new year, like I remember January, February, and then I had scheduled a colonoscopy in March with a gastroenterologist in Long Island.
Which is like
And
different, which is odd because you're 19 years old. So
mhm,
like that's not a common procedure for a 19-year-old.
no.
So,
So my dad was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis when he was, I think he was like 17 or 18 years
oh,
old.
okay. Okay.
And then I have a lot of family members that have Crohn's disease. And I've always kind of now looking back had issues with like eating lettuce or milk. When I was 6 months old, I had this really bad reaction to a milk. And I had to be like hospitalized. They sent me to the ICU. And then I just always had a hard time with like roughage, like in my, elementary school and cheese and sauce. So it's just interesting how that all, I don't know, maybe that played a role. Who
When
knows?
you were growing up, before you got your diagnosis, before you had your colonoscopy, when you were growing up, were you aware of all of the digestive diseases that were going on in your, I know that's the right term or not, but were you aware that your dad was sick? Were you aware that your family members had them?
No, I
You
didn't
guys didn't
know.
talk about it?
No, because he actually is very rare. Like he hasn't been symptomatic. And my mom always says, oh, it's because he married me. As soon as we got married, he was, asymptomatic. So yeah, he's very lucky. He's very one of the few where his symptoms really like
What
didn't
was your,
present itself.
what was your emotional number during those days?
Oh, it was a 0 or a 1. I broke up with my husband. I couldn't handle. I was in college. I was living in the dorms and I couldn't, and thank goodness I lived close enough. So I went to CW Post, so it was a half hour from where I lived. I was really grateful. My mom is an excellent chef, like a cook. So she did all this research on with Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis. Like this was after the diagnosis. And that was really helpful. She would bring me food. And then my dad was, well, he's a psychotherapist, social worker, but he also was trained in hypnosis. So he helped me with my pain level because I had like real major abdominal cramping. So I was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis. And I remember I was like, oh, it's probably a hemorrhoid because, I had
Sure.
pain in that area, and I was bleeding. And then I remember waking up and the doctor had said, oh, you have ulcerative colitis, which is an inflammatory bowel disease. It's an autoimmune disease. and I didn't know what it was. And so then we started looking it up, and then that's when my dad had shared with me his experience and what he had went through. So at least we had that knowledge and familiarity.
Do you have
So
siblings? Do you have siblings?
yes, my sister, she's 2 years younger. She actually also has an autoimmune disease, so type 1 diabetes, and she was diagnosed at age 26, which is rare because usually that's called like the juvenile diabetes. It's like when
Yeah.
you're like 4 or 5 years old, but she was 26 and her whole life changed.
How much did your emotional condition at that time contribute to the onset?
Oh yeah, I was really depressed. I ended up I lost a lot of weight. I was 95 pounds was my lowest weight.
Because of the
Uh,
diagnosis or because of the
Uh,
symptoms that were
the symptom,
impacting?
yeah, yeah, all the symptoms. So fine, so you get the diagnosis, but then now you have to treat it, right? So you have all this inflammation in the colon, and so it's a matter of going on medication. And I was really grateful the doctor that did the colonoscopy, she didn't specialize in IBD, inflammatory bowel disease. So, and she had told us that. And then I spoke with actually my professor I was really close with, and she told me about her gastro in New York City through Mount Sinai. So I had made an appointment with him, and then he started treating me. So
Simone, was there a national transition? You felt good, and then you didn't, and then you got the colitis. What, you felt good, and things changed. What
um
changed?
Or did you feel like crap since you were 6 months old?
no, no. I always was doing well. I've always had like a good positive energy and busy and
So when was that?
yeah.
What was happening during that transition period when you're not feeling well? What was the
Uh
onset?
a good question. Yeah, just being in pain, like doubled over in pain
What was
and
happening?
not be
What changed in your life?
Were there like higher stress levels or things going on?
oh, I don't know. I mean, I was a
Still in
sophomore in
school?
college.
Yeah.
It there wasn't a specific event, and there's no like reason why it comes on or doesn't, like there's no rhyme or reason. So there wasn't a specific event. It's just
You think it's all physiological?
I think there's a genetic component. I think there's an environmental component. I mean, if you do the research, that it does like show that. Eastern European, like the culture that plays a role. So there's lots of different things, but I just, yeah, it was awful, like not being able to go to class and not being able. I worked 1 day a week, not being able to go to work, and but my mentality. I mean, I'm a hard worker, and I don't like to. I isolated, so like socially, so it affected me socially. Like I didn't want to talk to anyone. I wanted to be by myself. Emotionally, like crying a lot. Just like why, like the pity party,
Sure.
like and just like under like not knowing. So then I ended up and I always want to know and learn. And I went on to the Crohn's and Colitis website, or my mom, maybe even, she's a huge researcher. So she may have even shared that website with me, Crohn's and Colitis and the foundation. And Long Island has a really robust chapter that was really, really helpful to me. So between going onto the website, learning about what ulcerative colitis is and how to treat it, all the different medications, how to be in touch with your doctors, the different, diet, rest. So lots of different tools. They also had support groups, which I had attended. And that's how I met a really good dear friend of mine uh, through that support group. And we reconnected like years later. And then we put two and two together. We were like, oh my gosh, I think we were in that support group together.
Oh, that's so
So,
sweet.
educational workshops I would attend just to learn. So we just dove in because we knew this was going to be, it's a chronic condition. So it's going to be for life. So how can we best manage it? And there's no cure. So how can we best manage it to the best of my ability? So
Anybody poo-poo you and say, it's all in your mind.
no, no. I mean, it was clear evidence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I would imagine, so listener, what I've not disclosed is that this conversation is quite timely because just this week I have been diagnosed with ulcerative colitis. So in 2019, I was diagnosed with ulcerative proctitis, which is not as severe. And then symptoms, not so the same symptoms, I guess, and we'll talk a bit about symptoms and how they're different and how everyone's body is different. but literally just got a voicemail yesterday as we were talking that it says, this is your new diagnosis, and talking about medication and what does that look like. But the symptoms, I mean, they really are terrible no matter what they are.
They're debilitating
Yeah.
completely. It
Mhm.
impairs your life.
Oh,
I
no
mean,
question.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm happy I was able to stick through school, but I mean, there was a time where I couldn't work, like
Yeah.
because yeah, it was,
How do
and I
you,
was really fortunate that my parents were so supportive and there for me, and I lived with them, and I couldn't live at college anymore. I'm hospitalized, so.
I mean, how did you finally like come back and get your life back? Like, what was it that helped you kind of get
Mhm.
that back to get back on track? So you break up with your boyfriend, who's now your husband, but like obviously you end up getting back together. But did he know what was going on in your world, or did he just think that you didn't like the red sauce?
Yeah, no, he was, I think he was really perplexed. Like he didn't really understand. Like he was really upset. And he didn't, I don't think, dive deep like to learn about it. I think, I don't know, you're like what, we're 19. So
Yeah.
it's like what's going on. And I just needed time to like process everything and see like to figure myself out and just take care of me because I can't really take care of anyone else or be,
Yeah.
I wasn't me anymore. So, yeah, he understood it and we stayed in touch and we went to college together. So, then we got back together, but I believe it was that fall. So then I was 20, um, that I was first hospitalized. And so what that means, like I needed to have IV steroids. So prednisone is one way to treat like when it's really bad, when you have a really bad flare. So it's now extremely inflamed. It's not under control. The medication I had started didn't really do anything. And then the prednisone is it's considered a band-aid because that's not you can't be on that for life because it can cause osteopenia, osteoporosis, psychotic episodes. So um, it's so then I needed to be in the hospital a few days. And I remember my professor said, because finals were coming up and I'm in the hospital and I had my books with me. And she's like, your homework is not to look at that book. Do not look at any books. Do not study. Don't worry about it. I don't want to hear. And you just take care of you. You get better. You'll take an extension. It's not a problem. And I remember that I didn't take the finals in December. I, waited until I felt better. But she was a
Wow.
huge supportive person in my life.
I mean, what an incredible thing for someone to do. And, like that's amazing.
Yeah.
So
And I
you're
guess you never realize the severity of it. So it's like then you learn, okay, well, this is what my life is like now. So and there's the urgency and the frequency. Like I remember at one point, like, because I lived off the Southern State Parkway and I knew like where every Starbucks was at each exit, or I knew like where every like a bathroom was. Like if I needed to get off, I would go. I knew where to go.
Did they
So
discuss
to have
dietary management at that time, that early stage?
diet. Yeah, I remember my mom would peel the seeds off of strawberries for me because seeds were one thing, like seeds, nuts,
Why not just
take
skip the
raw
strawberry?
vegetables.
Don't eat the strawberry.
I know, but it's nutrition because so that's the other thing. You tend, you lack the nutrition, you don't absorb it as much. But she made everything like cooked, roasted root vegetables. Like that's like my favorite, even to this day, because it's very nourishing and comforting. Uh, Rice became my favorite all time thing. And she made all different types of rice puddings for me. Anything with rice, I loved it. Yeah, no dairy, so I stopped having dairy, red sauce, spicy, anything spicy, which I never liked anyway, but yeah, no spice. What else? Recently, maybe the past maybe 3 years ago, I stopped having gluten. So looking back, I guess I could have stopped, but I feel better not having gluten. So these are all things that cause inflammation, and I just became educated about it, over the years. Like and just really trying to I have a more of a plant-based diet and just cooked everything, cooked. It's rare that I have salads, but sometimes I will crave a salad.
Yeah.
And but my story, to answer your question about like getting better, how did I get my life like back on track? I was I was on prednisone for 4 years,
Oh,
which
geez. That's
because
horrible.
I couldn't get off of it. So no matter what medication I was on, it just wasn't getting better. And I imagine, so it's like ulcerative colitis affects your colon. And this was always my picture, my image in my head was the inflamed part of the colon was like shriveled up, and they needed to remove that piece because nothing was working, like passing through. It was just caused all this, it just never got better. And I ultimately ended up having surgery and removed that part.
Wow.
So that was in 2008. So so that went 6 years. I was in, it was awful. Like the 6 years, it was pretty bad. I went on, let's see, Remicade helped for a while because this was my whole thing. I went all these medications, and then they worked and then they stopped working. They double the dose, then it stopped working. So then you try another medication
And don't they have
and
side
then double the
effects as well
dose and then
too? Like,
stop.
Everything
or
is a side
there's got to
effect.
be side effects for all the medications as well too. Like you hear all these
Yeah.
commercials and it's like, take this, it will
Yes.
solve your ulcerative colitis, but you may die of cancer, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, that's going to be nerve wracking too.
That, yeah, I never struggled with that. I know, like, I've spoken with a lot of like friends that have Crohn's and colitis, and they were always so afraid to take medications. But for me, it gave me life. Like I viewed medication as like it gave me back my life. So while I was on the medications and on the prednisone, like I remember I would get down to like 5 milligrams, and then even 2.5 milligrams, and every other day 2.5 milligrams, and then it would like spike again. Like I couldn't get better. I would have the bleeding and the cramping and the urgency. Like as we would get down lower and lower and lower. It was, I remember 10 milligrams. That was if I can get below 10 and feel good, then but so what happened, 4 years apparently passed by, and then I end up with osteopenia. So I had that at a young age. But even at our wedding, so I was 25 years old when we got married. And the big joke is, oh, Simone was late to her own wedding because I was in the bathroom. And I didn't know it back then, but like, how did I like do that? But for most of my wedding, like I spent a lot of time in the bathroom.
Do you think your
So
research talk about the blood brain barrier when you really get sick, how your stomach lining gets very very thin, and all the bacteria which occupy your stomach pass through the barrier into the bloodstream, creating exacerbating the problem. Because
I,
down in you live in Florida or you
Yeah,
don't?
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
In Naples, probably after 2008, they've been doing fecal transplants with incredible success because your colon is not healthy. They would take fecal matter from someone's healthy colon, do a transplant into yours, and the results have been like dramatic.
Wow, I never heard of that.
That absolutely sounds
You, no,
disgusting, by the
well, you
way.
have so much bacteria in your stomach itself, which allows us to survive. When you really
Right.
get sick, the lining of your stomach, which isn't that thick to begin with, gets very, very thin, and those bacteria pass through the barrier into your bloodstream, get to your brain, which exacerbates the problem. It becomes a cycle, and the fecal transplant has been 80%
What
successful.
did you see about
They've been
this?
doing it in Naples for years.
Naples, Italy or Naples,
Naples, Florida.
Florida?
Naples, Florida.
Really? I mean,
Interesting.
I think
But
it's like,
six
yeah, sorry, go ahead.
so now 6 years passes by, and I'm still not doing well. And I told my doctor, I need, there's got to be something else like that we can do. And interestingly enough, three separate people that didn't know each other all told me about Dr. Chapman, and who's also at Mount Sinai. You have to go see Dr. Chapman. He saved my life. He did this. And so I was like, okay, you know what? After that third time, that third person, I said, all right, we're going to go see Dr. Chapman. And he did. He basically saved my life. He's like, you know what? These are your options. You could go on this really toxic medication called cyclosporine, or you can have surgery and have that part removed. And it was a no-brainer for me. Like I just wanted to get rid of that.
Sure.
And oh, sorry, because I had the diagnosis of ulcerative colitis, the cure, and I put it in quotes, is removing the colon. So that was the surgery. So you could either remove the colon
Entirely.
completely. Yep,
You
You
go,
can live.
entirely.
you go in the
Oh, you
bag,
get you get a
your
bag,
bag.
colonoscopy bag.
Yeah.
No, no, you can no, you could remove the colon without a colonoscopy bag. So yeah, and they
Just
create
the
this
damaged
J
part.
pouch. They create like a J pouch internally. So it ends up acting, your brain ends up it acts as the colon. It's a procedure that they say then really gets, rid of the ulcerative colitis, but then, you trade one problem in for another. So then you could have pouchitis, like, which is just inflammation of the pouch, and they
Sure.
treat that with, the medication too. But I was all for it. So I'm like, sign me up. Went to see the surgeon that he recommended. And I remember this was in May of 2008. And I had the birthright trip scheduled in August of 2008 with my sister.
That was
So
brave.
I was 26 at the time. That was in 2008, and we were going to do the birthright trip to Israel. And I remember Dr. Chapman said,
Don't go.
"There's no way you're going to make that trip. You're not going to go." And I was really upset about that. But then met with the surgeon, and then I want to say it was like June 2nd, June 3rd was my surgery, and thank goodness
So you
he
did not put
was.
the whole thing out. You opted just for the section out, right?
No, the whole, get rid of it.
Oh,
Get rid of
really?
the
Okay.
colon.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's where, yeah,
Okay.
so thank goodness he was so knowledgeable and I mean, excellent, that when he went in to do the surgery, he saw that it looked like it was Crohn's disease and not ulcerative colitis. And because of that, he did not remove the whole colon, because it would have been worse. Like, you can't remove the whole colon when you have Crohn's disease, because Crohn's disease affects your whole digestive tract, from your mouth all the way to your anus, not just the colon. So it's not a cure for, Crohn's disease. And I was having Crohn-like symptoms leading up to the surgery. So my mouth had exploded with like ulcers and sores where I couldn't even talk or eat. And I had a swish with this really disgusting, like, I don't know what it was, but like a rinse to help with numb the pain. I broke out and it affected my skin, like these lesions. Gosh, what is it called? Erythematosin? But yeah, it was like these purple, look like bruises, and they come out on your body. So those are Crohn's symptoms. So thank goodness he had that knowledge. And when he went in, and then they biopsied the colon, and it turns out it's Crohn's disease. So
You got
he
lucky.
left.
You got very lucky.
Very.
Can you have
But this
both?
is what it says to go. So when you have good doctors, that's why, like, you got to do your research, and because it makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah.
So
What was this? Was he a guest? Or what was this? What was his title? Guest or
a surgeon, what would it be?
GI surgeon or?
A GI, yeah, right? A GI surgeon, yeah.
Can you have both Crohn's and ulcerative colitis?
Yes, you can. And it's like a Crohn's colitis. So that's like what I have, a Crohn's colitis, because my issue is always in that area. It's always in the lower region. So he left a little piece of sigmoid colon. So he removed almost all of it. So I have a little piece of sigmoid colon that's connected to the rectum. And he ended up giving me a pouch. So I had a colostomy bag on the outside. That was also part of the surgery, which I forgot to mention, which I knew about going in. When they remove your colon, they wait usually 3 to 6 months, and you have a temporary ostomy bag, and then they do the J pouch, because your body needs to heal. So he left the little piece of sigmoid. I had the ileostomy. So that was really hard to deal with in the beginning, because
Was the external pouch only temporary till healing?
Temporary.
No? Okay.
So it was temporary, and then I started Humira. So
But that has to
Humira,
be also like having the pouch. That has to be like debilitating as well too. Like socially, like did you feel like that was uncomfortable? And you were married at the time at this point, right?
yes,
Had you had
yeah,
any children at the point or no?
no,
Okay. So I
yeah.
mean that
We
has
were
to
married
be
1
like
year. Yeah.
okay. But that
So
has
that was
to
our
be
first
like
year of marriage. We're like, oh, we have a great story to tell the kids when we're,
wow.
because that first year was really rough, because it was like the surgeries. And so,
For those that don't know, a colostomy bag is like basically it's attached to the outside of your body that is collecting like your fecal
Sure.
matter, right?
yeah,
And then you have to empty that daily.
yeah, throughout the day.
On
So
the other hand, you don't have to run to a bathroom. It's true.
let me tell you, I loved that pouch. I
It's
did not want to get
convenient.
rid of it.
It's
It
convenient
gave
as
me my
hell.
life. Oh my
Really?
gosh, I had life. Yes, I didn't need the bathroom.
See?
It
I
was
would
Maybe
have
it's
had
maybe it's some new luggage I'm gonna look into.
I would have made mine into a wallet.
I mean, like you're talking, and I'm like trying not to get emotional,
I get some solutions for you. You'll talk.
but it's like I don't think people realize
It's debilitating.
how hard it is. You know, I don't think people understand. Like when you have to go to the bathroom, it's the anxiety level of like, oh my gosh, if I don't get to that bathroom, like it's horrible. It's absolutely horrific. We were at the airport and there was a line, and like that's my biggest fear is was like, oh my god, what if I get there and there's not a stall available? Then if I'm getting ready on a transatlantic flight, and I'm being super like vulnerable here, like this is like, you know, people see things, and I always talk about this, like people talk about like the real life that they have, right? Like everything online, and people, oh my god, you're going here, you're doing there, but they don't understand like everyone is struggling with something. And we were just there, and I was like, I ran to that bathroom, there's a long line of women, I'm like, I'm gonna be sick, and I didn't want to be like, I'm gonna be sick out of my butt, right? But I was like, I'm gonna be sick, I need to go. And all the women were so amazing, like, you go, you go, you go. But it is that like just that anxiety level of just the fear of if you don't, like you were talking earlier about the Starbucks and knowing wherever, like I literally have like squealed into parking lots before and jumped out. I mean, it's just horrible. So sorry, just to
Yeah.
I'm hearing what you're saying, and it's awesome to know that like I'm not the only one suffering with it, but I hate that you had to go through it as well. So catch us up. So you have the bag. Then
There's
what happened?
so Crohn's and Colitis Foundation actually had created its a can't I can't wait card. It goes in your wallet. It literally says I can't wait. And I remember using it once at a Broadway show. And then, you know, like the lines are like
Sure.
forever long during intermission or at the end. So I remember showing it to someone like I
They
can't wait.
and they respected it.
Yeah, yeah.
People
But
need to
most
be
people, even
educated
if you
on it.
don't have it,
Yeah.
most people are really good, like saying like, "Oh, I feel sick."
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had to park in handicap spots. I remember like when it was really active, I was like, I should have like a handicap, like
Sure.
just to use
Yeah.
for moments like that, because I remember at the mall it was like no parking whatsoever. It was, yeah. But you do what you have to do. And yes, I've had accidents, and that was a big fear getting married. Like I'm like, oh my God, what if I'm like at the we're getting married and like I have to go. Like, do I wear a diaper? Like like I
Sure.
want to empty everything out before I go. But like
Yeah.
nerves also like
Big factor.
make you,
Yeah. It's
go
weird.
run
I
some
find that
faster.
temperature change impacts me as well too. Like if I'm too cold or I get too hot, like
Yeah.
it's weird. But anyway, so you get the bag, and then
Yeah. So, and then I started the Humira. And then I remember, I think I went back like a month after or 2 months after to the surgeon for them to like check to see how the Humira was responding, and it was working. And then just also the whole like fecal matter wasn't passing through, so it was able to rest. So that was the other purpose of having the bag, to rest that area, let it get like let it heal, and then the Humira. So, and Humira at the time was not approved for to treat ulcerative colitis. It was only Remicade, and Remicade has stopped working. So Humira, I was on that for 9 years. It helped me for
Wow.
9 years.
What
So,
was it originally for?
um,
H.
oh, well, it was proved for Crohn's disease and for rheumatoid arthritis
Oh,
because
that's
it
right.
helps with joint pain. Because that was
Which
the
is
other
also
thing.
autoimmune disease. Did your
Yeah.
dietary regimen change during those years?
Oh my gosh, I gained weight when I had the bag. So like during like the 6 months, because
Yeah.
now I could eat whatever I want. I was having salads.
Oh, you went
I was
crazy.
Oh my
Like
gosh, I
nothing
didn't have to
impacted you.
worry about, yeah, so that's why I picture in my mind like I feel like they got rid of that like diseased area, and now I don't have it, and now nothing's passing through. And I'm like, yeah, I don't have any more like I've had a lot of tags and like fissures in my anal area, and it was just like a war zone down there. And now it was like I couldn't even wipe. There was a time my mom got
Too
me the
sensitive.
the toilet, the bidet toilet, like
Sure.
Yeah.
the
Yeah. Yep.
because I couldn't wipe at one point. It was that bad.
Did
So
he
I had to
discuss
use the
any rate of occurrence after the surgery?
any rate of, say it again, I'm
Rate
sorry.
of reoccurrence.
Reoccurrence. Oh,
It's chronic, so she has it.
No, what I'm
yeah, no,
saying.
but I was feeling good. Yeah, for the 6 months. I didn't want to actually, they wanted to reverse it after 3 months. And then I said, no, we'll do it at 6 months. I didn't even want to. I was nervous, because it was like finally. So they make, even for the bags, this is just a little funny tidbit to share. They make lingerie for the bag. So
That's so
Like when
funny.
you're intimate, because like they make like
Yeah.
lace, and you put the
Sure.
bag in there because
Yeah, because it's got to
um
be like it's just how big is it? How big is the bag?
It's
um
large.
it could fold. It like you could fold and roll it up. So it could be like, I don't know, it could be like this bag. I'm trying to think. Like,
Do you tell your
yeah.
employer when you have like, is that something that you have to disclose?
Thank you for sharing that. So, I mean, asking that. I left, let's see. So April, I left. I did a leave replacement. So I'm a social worker, and there was a leave replacement position in a school. I wanted to try school social work because my dad did was a social worker in the schools and loved it. So I thought, oh, this would be my way to like get into the schools, do like a 2 month leave replacement. So I did that. I don't know how I did that because that was the most sick that I ever was ever. And then I couldn't work after that. That's when I had all my surgeries, is when I wasn't working. So the leave replacement ended in April, and then that's when I met the doctor in May and did the surgery in June. And then I was feeling, and no, I went to Israel. So I ended up going to Israel with my ostomy bag in August for 10 days. It was a 10-day trip, which was like my huge triumph. Like that was like, I was so proud and so happy. And it was really unbelievable.
Did the
And
hummus help? Did the hummus
the,
help you?
what helped
The
me?
The
hummus.
hummus, the
Hummus.
hummus.
Oh, the hummus. Oh, the shawarma. Hummus.
No,
Well, and
but the
so
question is, when the doctor did the surgery, was there any possible chance for reoccurrence in a healthy part of the colon getting worse again?
or
Of
like a
course, because
replacement
it's
Yes.
section.
yeah, because it's Crohn's, so it could affect your esophagus, your stomach, your small intestine, your yeah, you
Well,
could
and I
affect
had a friend
anything.
who had Crohn's, and she actually had so much of her intestine removed from time to time. Like they'd go in and keep removing different
But you
areas.
said
No, resections, like yeah, they
Yeah,
remove the piece and then they reconnect. But yeah,
you were
yeah.
eating anything you wanted to, but should they have monitored your diet to keep to maybe get a better state of equilibrium? Should they have changed the diet to some degree?
I mean, I'm still very health conscious. Like I've always been, like even in our house growing up, like I always knew it was like healthy versus unhealthy. I
Yeah.
like yeah, so I don't have any like fried foods. Like really, I've always been very good with taking care of myself. So
So
that
did
was yeah
you
a
at the time tell
non-issue.
your sorry, did you at the time tell your
Yeah,
employer what's
so
going
then I
on?
got a job working for an after school program and I was the director of it. And then I didn't tell them because I was hired and they didn't need to know. But in December, so I was hired in September, and then that December I needed to have the surgery where they
Reversal, sure.
reconnect me. And I was all prepared to I needed a month off and I was all prepared to do it and I got all my work done for like even that month in December and I really and because I'm a hard worker and I didn't want they were very supportive. Okay. Then I return in January and it was just too stressful, the job. So now I get reconnected. And so now so I don't have the bag anymore. So my ilium's connected to um, so it's an iliosigmoid rectal anastomosis. So say that 3 times fast.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Ilio
It's got a ring to it.
sigmoid anastomosis. Yeah. So, and they had told me that my norm would be uh like I'd be going more frequently. So I'll share. So my norm with going to the bathroom is 6 times in 24 hours because I don't have really much of a colon. I have if I have a little piece,
It's a shorter path.
then
Sure.
you're gonna go like after you eat. So after you eat, you
That's
wake
too
up in the
triggers.
morning,
Yeah.
after you eat breakfast, right? Lunch, dinner, any snacks before you go to bed. So it in the middle of the night sometimes. So that's year 6. So that's how I know like that's my remission. Like that's my number. Like if I'm doing 6 and the consistency is like they say it's going to be like toothpaste. So it's never going to be like how it was, but that's, what I was willing to deal with that. So it took a little while for me to start feeling better. Like once they reconnected me, it wasn't that great and I started looking for new jobs because it was really stressful, that environment, but you don't tell them that you're looking for a new job, right? So I was missing work and going late because I had all these interviews and the boss at that time told me he was like upset with me that I was missing all this time. He's like, and you took a month off vacation. Like, and I like when I had my surgery, and I'm like, that was not a vacation. And that's when I was like, oh, I'm done. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And then,
that was rough.
and then,
And so
I'm so
I stayed a year. I ended up getting the school job in a
sorry.
school. So and it helped me having that leave replacement. It helped me, yeah, get the school.
When
So,
you
and then
have
2 years goes by and I'm still not like, I'm still in the bathroom a lot. I'm not in pain, but it just doesn't, it's not where it should be. Like I'm not feeling like I'm still, something's going on. And then I the doctors added another medication, so
Oh, jeez.
methotrexate. So now I'm on Humira and methotrexate, and that was like my miracle drug, like the pair, the two of them, because then I finally like went into remission for me. Like my, even though I've always had inflammation, like whenever they scoped, there's always inflammation, but I could live my life. Like I'm exercising, I'm eating, healthy. There's like no restrictions. Like I'm finally
What
living
year
my,
was that?
that was 2010.
And you're going to
Yep.
the bathroom. You're going to the bathroom less frequency
or the
after.
sixth time.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I didn't have any pain. I didn't have symptoms. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. So
So,
that was my miracle drug.
And you're
I
still on the
mean,
regimen.
Yep, the Humira and the methotrexate. Hmm.
so, that's a lot of surgery, a lot of medication, a lot of doctor's visits. I imagine that you probably had good health insurance because your husband worked for the government.
Hmm.
But like, what does health insurance cover when it comes to that? I mean, like, that's got to be like how much? And that's what
Well,
I,
it didn't cover the surgery because we decided to go with the surgeon that doesn't take insurance. And I remember my grandmother actually gave us a huge, she really helped support my parents and me with that. But
I'm
there
really
was no
glad
way I
then.
was going to
Yeah.
do it with
Sure.
another
Yeah.
surgeon because
Yeah.
of what reviews he had, and he ended up doing the surgery on, like, remember those three people that
Yeah.
came into my life that told me about Dr. Chapman? Well, one of them had Dr. Bauer, like the surgeon, and this was years ago, and she's like so good, like she's doing so well, and this was, like she's, I don't know, what, 20 years older than me. So like that happened like years and years ago. So it was like, I'm just grateful for all those, connections. Okay. So now I'm feeling great. It's 2010. I get an email from the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation saying, Team Challenge, do you want to join half marathon training go to Vegas to run a half marathon? I'm like, I've never ran before, but I'm like, I have all this like positive energy now. I'm feeling great. Like I'm sleeping through the night. That's another thing. Like I never slept through the night. I'd be up in the middle of the night going to the bathroom. So I've never had a full night's sleep, but now it's like I have this newfound energy and like, what do I do with all of this? So I attended the meeting and Stacy was the program coordinator and talking all about it and how you raise the funds for the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation while you have training with a whole program with coaches and a team. And then you go to Vegas. So to run on the strip. So I ended up signing up. I spoke with my husband, and he was really supportive, and it was for December. So I think this might have been August or September. I attended that meeting to prepare for
That's great.
December,
Yeah.
and every week we would meet Eisenhower Park and with the coaches, and they told us about like nutrition and food and hydration and not style. What is that? How you
Cadence.
how
Cadence.
yeah,
Cadence.
how to run, like
Rhythm.
how what's the word I'm looking for?
Pace, rhythm.
Yeah, yeah, pace, but
Locomotion.
sure.
Da, 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 da.
And they were so thoughtful. Like the reason we met at this park is because we would go on a loop and there was a bathroom there. So it never was
Sure.
one stretch because they knew the people that some had Crohn's and colitis, ulcerative colitis, some were friends or family members that wanted to support loved ones that
Right.
had it. So they were raising money for the cause. And then we built this family and friendship. And then we flew to Vegas and I raised $8,000. The
Wow.
goal was, I think, 2,000 or it was like 2,200 you had to raise. And I raised 8,000. And then we went, And we got to meet Michael McCready, the guitarist of Pearl Jam, because he also has Crohn's disease. So
Wow.
he actually spoke at the pasta party the night before. So there was this huge pasta party, and he presented, and it gets you like all revved up for the race. And every time I didn't run it, I walked it because I loved walking. And I was like, I don't know how to run. I'm going to walk it. But I did, so I did it. I completed it. And the goal was to complete the race, no matter how you do it, just to finish it. So, and it felt so good with everyone there, supportive. It was one of the best moments,
A
yeah,
real
of my life.
13 miles?
It was, yeah, 13.1.
Baby.
I
So,
walked it. Yeah.
I mean, your story, like, there's probably so many more things you can share with us. I know that since then, you've had two kids. Did pregnancy impact you at all with your disease?
Yes. So I was very nervous to have kids. I really, I didn't want, I was so nervous of how it was going to affect my body because now I'm feeling great. Like, I don't want my body to change. Like, I'm finally feeling good.
Yeah.
So, but we, and because I was feeling so good, there's lots of research that shows when you're feeling well, when your symptoms are managed and your disease is under control, that's the best time to get pregnant. And so we ended up, yeah, getting pregnant. And then I had my son, and I was able to stay on the Humira. So I had my son in 2015, so June 2015. And it was difficult. Like for me, I had a hard time. Like I was not comfortable. It was hard. And I ended up having a flare in April of 2015, and I had to go on prednisone. And it's scary because you just don't know, like, even having no disease and being pregnant is scary
Sure.
because you just don't know what's your whole body changes. You don't know what's going to happen. And then when I had him, uh, it was worse. And I've heard that too. I was very nervous. I remember when I was in the hospital, I met a mom who was hospitalized after she gave birth because your hormones affect it. So it's like all of a sudden you give birth and your hormones are crazy. And then I remember like feeding him, like, and having to take him to the bathroom with me. Like I couldn't get through a whole like feeding. And that was really rough. And it was really hard. And then with the sleeping, it because you're not really sleeping with a newborn. So
Sleep
that was
deprivation is horrible for
that
everybody.
was tough. And we knew we wanted two kids. And I know it's like almost time, but I will share. We ended up doing IVF, and we said, look, we're extremely happy with our son. He's healthy. We're grateful. But if we're able to give him a sibling, then let's see if we can do it. And I was not, but I wouldn't have been able to carry again just because of how I was. And I had to go off the methotrexate. I had to go off medication. It wasn't worth it to for my health to be impacted. So we ended up with a surrogate.
Oh,
So
wow.
we had a surrogate. I remember we got approved for a loan, and that was going to decide whether we were going to like move forward with it. So we ended up having, yeah, a daughter 4 years later through a surrogate.
That's
So
amazing. And both of your kids are so incredible and just amazing. You know,
thank
what's
you.
so funny is that like I've known you for a bit now and I didn't know this, right? Like we don't talk about these things. We don't normalize them. We show all the good, but we don't talk about like the things that really impact us daily. And it's horrible because the more that if we did talk about it, then people would say they get it. I had lunch with a friend recently who shared her story and she was attacked years ago and she wears pants all the time because she's a massive scar on her leg, and I would never have known that. We don't talk about those things, we don't share those things, and I really am on a mission that let's normalize that. That's part of the reason we do this podcast is let's normalize those stories. So thank you for sharing today because I know it's not easy, but my question to you is that, you know, what advice or would you give your younger self now if you could go back and do something different? Or for people that maybe are like starting to realize, someone like me, that this is something I'm going to have to start dealing with, what advice do you have for people around Crohn's and
Mhm.
ulcerative colitis?
Sure. So taking care of yourself, like knowing your limits, knowing like what your triggers are, what get you, anxious or could cause stress, and preparing then for that moment. Like I know that I would take my time. If I had to go somewhere or be somewhere by a certain time, I would look to rush there because that would cause, extra stress on me. So I would get prepared and ready earlier and take my time getting there instead of rushing. Incorporate like mental health, like it really is so psychosomatic. So really taking care of your mental health and using your breath and or anything that you enjoy, relaxing, reading, writing, like whatever brings you joy, because it really does affect your gut. Um, yeah, yeah, self-care first. And then like even looking at jobs, like after that time, after having that stressful job, I didn't accept any other, jobs in the future that I knew would be, stressful.
Mhm.
So it's really putting your health first. And I'm really fortunate to have my husband and my parents and family who were like, supportive. Not everyone has that where you have to work, like you don't have someone
Yeah.
to lean on. So
Yeah.
that's an additional challenge. But
You're,
and then also to really know your doctors, like communicate with your doctors, and if you feel like it's not a right fit, then listen to your
Stop.
gut and
yeah.
do your research and find a doctor yeah, that will work for you.
Do your kids know about the challenges that you face when it comes to this?
Yeah, I've told my son more than my daughter because he's older.
Mhm.
Uh, but they really haven't seen me. They've seen me and like go to the bathroom, like, but and like sometimes the urgency, but they haven't. I haven't been sick, which I'm really fortunate. Like, and a little flare that I might have a little flare right now, but it's like it's nothing with nothing
Yeah.
for me.
Well,
So
that's good. I'm very, very happy for
yeah.
you. That is, I mean, knowing just the anxiety and the stress and the pain and the concern and the just all of it. Your story, I mean, I cannot even imagine having to have navigated what you have since you were 19 years old, being diagnosed with it, but even prior to that. So, and no one would ever, that's the thing. We would never look at you and know this is part of your story. We would never, ever know. And so I just want to say thank you for just sharing. Thank you for taking time to talk to us about it. And listener, is it okay if someone reaches out to you, Simone, if they've got
Oh,
questions?
absolutely. I'm really grateful for this opportunity. And I think that's how we started talking about it because I am all about educating others and, like you saying, normalizing. And because I know there's someone else that is going through this and that they're not alone, and to really rely on your support system. And that really helped me. And even though I isolated, and then sometimes, even till today, like the fear sometimes like kicks in if I'm like in the bathroom more one day than another, like, uh-oh, but I really learned how to share my thoughts and feelings with my loved ones so that they're there for me and I don't have to do it alone.
I love
So,
that.
so thank you. Yeah, and I could, if anyone ever wants to reach out, I mean, I'm more than happy to talk
Are
to
you
them.
ready for your next half marathon?
So the following year, I signed up. I did it again, but I ran. I
Woo!
challenged myself in 2011. I ran the strip in Vegas and I raised another
Oh,
$8,000. So I
super.
raised 16,000 in total.
Fabulous.
that's amazing.
Yeah. And I did one more after that and that was it. And I'm happy with walking, maybe a little run here and there, but it takes a toll on your
Oh,
knees.
absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. But I
But
think
it
it's
was
also
the best
like,
experience. And I've made like the best friends. And I remember like in my 30s, 30 was like the best year when I was 30. It's like, how do you make new friends at like 30? And they were just, yeah,
turns out an
just such
autoimmune
a big
disease
part of my life.
is good for something.
Yeah,
On the other hand,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. On one hand, you've got on the other
connection.
hand, yeah.
It's all about connection. And we can
Yeah.
talk more also.
Yeah.
I'm here for you as well.
Well, now that yeah, believe me, I've got so many more questions, and we'll catch up some more later. But I just want to say thank you. This is just like the tip of the iceberg. Just hearing your story and helping me kind of
well,
navigate.
it's survivable. You've survived, and you're flourishing.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thriving. Mm-hmm.
amazing. I'm so
Yeah.
grateful for you. Thank you, Simone.
Aw,
Thank
thank you
you
so
so much.
much.
And listener, and what's the best place for them to reach out to you and connect with you? Where would you like them to go?
My phone number? Do you want me to get my phone number?
This is like publicized worldwide. Would you rather
Email.
we can put like, yeah, where would you like people to, it's like you want them to connect with you on Facebook, on Instagram, on LinkedIn? Like where would you want them to connect with you?
Hmm.
Well, you know, you can let me know.
I
We'll
don't
put it in
know.
the show notes. You
And
let me
I
know.
mean, can you pass my phone number along to them if
Yeah.
they
So, you
reach
know,
out to
listener,
you?
if you're,
I'll give you permission.
yeah. Listener, if you're interested in connecting with Simone and talking through, you know, your challenges or you're navigating, you know, being possibly newly diagnosed with ulcerative colitis or Crohn's, or you think that you might have some symptoms, you have some questions, connect with us. We will connect you with Simone. Simone.
And if you send her a small check, she may be forced to go do another match. She'll be back in Vegas.
No.
But or message, actually messenger. Yeah, message if they want it, if they're more comfortable that way. Yeah. I guess it could do like Simone Leo. Yeah. Is
Thank
my
you so
messenger.
much.
Go enjoy the
Thank
rest
you.
of your week,
Thank
rest of your
you.
life. Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. We'll talk soon. Well, we're
you.
friends. So
Okay.
I can hear a lot.
Bye.
All right. Thanks. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Wow. That was my daughter jumping in, thinking that we're done with our call. If you heard another voice, but we're not done.
I have to discuss with you the physiology of how the blood-brain barrier impacts you and what it actually does to you.
Yeah, it's emotional. It is.
Well, I think, but what we downplayed here was the emotions that you control affect your entire gut. The connection, that's the vagus nerve, from the brain to the stomach.
I'm literally talking about shedding the funk in my books, and I do all those things, but I'm not, you know, immune to stress for sure. There's stress. I'm an entrepreneur, mom, wife.
The American lifestyle is very stressful.
Yeah, the foods that we eat. So I'm definitely changing my diet, and I've had like the flares in the past, but now they're saying it's, you know, more severe. So, listener, what I would just tell you is that if you think something's going on, if you have symptoms, connect with a doctor as soon as possible. And continue to share the not so good parts of our lives, because when we do that, it's more relatable. So,
but also when you're having kids, you make the kids your priority, and it really should you should make yourself the priority, because the better you are, the better you can relate to your children. Yeah. And we'll discuss that with my granddaughter in a few minutes. Don't talk.
Thanks for listening, Simone. Thanks so much for being our guest, and that's her story. Until next time.
Adios, kids. Thank you. Bye bye.